All right, everybody, I am live with Anthony Cotignola. I lived in Italy for a while, so I'm going to do my best with my
Nice.
Italian there.
Good
We're,
job.
yeah, thanks for joining us from AVS.
Yep.
AVS in the house.
Yep. Audio video systems. That's right.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We're glad to have you here today. And Anthony, there's a lot of things that I want to ask you. We're just going to kind of pack it into a little bit of a 10-minute power session here, but talk a little bit about how you got into this business. Why are you doing what you do, and how'd you get started?
Yeah, I mean, AV technology has always really been like a second language for me that, I say this to my wife all the time, like some people grow up and they can speak other languages. I always was able to speak technology. Always came natural to me. And so it was a natural progression. I didn't go to school for technology, but I always had, jobs that were related. I was a DJ for a while, so I always learned how to connect gear and everything doing the DJing thing.
Why is it that everybody's a DJ? They got
Yeah,
like this music background. It's
well,
perfect.
that's where we all land, right? Because you got to know the flow of how things work. So
You grow up one day and you actually got to do something.
exactly. But yeah, it was a natural progression into this, and
Yeah.
I've never looked back really.
That's awesome, and congratulations on your business.
Thank you.
I know you and I are just getting to know each other, but your gallery, your work, the breadth of what you do, your installations are beautiful, and you've been a VIP dealer for Leon, not for a short amount of time, and you've been working with us for a long time, and we really appreciate that, and we're grateful for that partnership.
Thank you. So are we. I mean, that's what we look for. We don't want to just do business with people. We want to be partners. So
Yeah. We believe that, and that's perfect. So, I think the first question, in terms of the business side of it specifically, I'd like to dive into is where does Leon fit in your thinking? Across the range of things that you do, the clients that you engage, how do you view Leon in your portfolio, and when are you calling us?
Leon is somewhat of a Swiss Army knife, I would say, because obviously the everything sounds great, it looks great, and it gives us the ability to put technology in places that we normally wouldn't be able to put it. In a lot of our projects in the market that we're in, there's architects, there's designers, and they're very cognizant about the aesthetics. And Leon allows us to not only put technology in places, but allows us to allow the designers to sell it for us because they know the product, they've seen it, on previous projects that we've worked on with them, and they ask for it by name now, and it's great because it hides the things that they don't want to see and allows everything to be beautiful the way they want it.
What does it take to kind of like get that, they call it by name, status? There's a lot of things in AV,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of speakers, out there, and we don't like to think of ourselves as just a speaker company, but that's a significant, kind of designation, calling by name. What does that take?
So obviously repetition, right? You gotta bring it up whenever you possibly can. You got to lead with you got to listen first and foremost, not only to the clients but to the designers, and hear the things that they're saying, and then you present opportunities to them, or they're opportunities for us, but they're opportunities for them as well because again, it gives them an opportunity to be able to make the place look the way they want it to look, and that's the most important part of their what they do, and it allows us to bring in products in places that we normally wouldn't.
Yeah, no. So, okay. So they're right over your shoulder. I want to
Yeah,
talk a little bit about
well,
how
the
you
shoulder.
get there. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
exactly.
I'm going to have you go back and maybe pick that up. But, for everybody's benefit, Anthony and team are sort of the pioneers over here in Leon land of the mini edge media frame.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you guys did that and what you do here.
So we did a lunch and learn at one of our builders in Connecticut area, and we brought our Josh AI and a couple of other pieces, Ketra and what have you. And we had a little TCL TV that we connect to the Josh AI kit. And as we were speaking and we were going through everything with them, I thought about it and I was like, this would really be nice in one of the media frames. Not only will it dress it up, but it gives us an opportunity to speak about something else, other than the automation side of things. And it went over really, really well. The first time we brought it to one of our lunch and learns, a lot of the conversation was specifically about that.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. So we take that out to just about every event now,
Yeah,
and we've got a lot of dealers and some of our reps that just love the ability to put that on the tabletop.
yeah,
Which means for everybody on the call today, it's like you have access to this design. This is something that we do, and we would strongly encourage it. I think it changes the nature of the conversation with the customer,
it
right? To be
does.
able to say, "Here's a different way of thinking about it." So you guys think different. I mean, that's sort of
We
in
try
your,
to. Yeah.
yeah. Was that an overnight thing, or like how did you get there? How do you train your people
It,
to really
it's been an
position?
evolution.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but yeah, it's been
yeah,
a little bit of an evolution. I mean, part of it is going to conferences, speaking to other dealers, seeing what's going on around the country. But a lot of it also has to do with dealing with designers and architects and hearing what they say. And obviously, yeah, I had this conversation the other day with someone. We all sell the same stuff. I mean, all of
yeah,
us do. It's a matter of how we differentiate ourselves, and that usually is how you present. And when you're dealing with designers and a lot of high-end clients, they
yeah.
don't know the language that we know. They don't know the technology, but they know what they like. They know what looks good. And if you're able to present something that they see and they say, that's a luxury item. That's something I want in my home, then the conversation is a different conversation.
100%. So I'm excited to see you next week in Fort Lauderdale at
Yeah,
the
me too.
HTSA spring meeting. Noah's going to be with me, so we'll make sure we get some quality time.
Yeah,
And I think that's a theme I've heard in the HTSA buying group specifically is like when we were at the event this fall, there was a lot of discussion around in a crazy year. 23 wasn't the best year, but it was sort of like the impetus to go back out to customers and talk about adding value.
yeah.
And I think the design aesthetic value is such an upside opportunity for so many integrators.
It absolutely is. I mean, again, going back to what I said earlier, if the designers like it, they will sell it for you. You really don't have to do anything. It's a slam dunk at that point. So it makes sense to get them on your team and on your side, talking about the products to the clients, because
Yeah.
it's one less thing that you have to do at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you get the name, kind of the default names. All right, somebody on the call today may not be doing nearly as much as Leon as you guys are doing. What advice would you have for somebody starting down the path? You've talked about some of the aesthetic elements today. The value add and upside elements. What tip would you give somebody that maybe is just doing a little bit with us right now?
Well, number one, I would try to speak to other dealers if you can. I mean, if you're part of a buying group, that's a good opportunity to speak to, other dealers, maybe that aren't necessarily in your area, just to hear what they're doing. It's really good to get a consensus and an idea of where the industry is going.
Mhm.
We all think we have great ideas, but when you're in a group and you hear some of the stuff that people come out with, it really makes you think a little bit differently, like we were saying earlier. And then reach out to your rep and find out what is available to you based on the area that you're in. If there's showrooms, or if they have demo product, or they can get you demo product, that's a really good way to get yourself familiarized and get the designers and architects and clients familiarized as well.
No, that's a great suggestion. So again, we love the Thea team. They're sponsoring today's event, and
Yeah.
we, as far as the demo, you just gave me an opportunity to do a plug. We're in March Madness, which means our demo deal and an additional discount for the month of March on all frames. So if you don't have frames in your showrooms, or you're looking for another way to show like what you're talking about there, the studio frame and of course the edge frame and the other things, I'm going to pop up for everyone really quick your website.
Yeah.
I think it's a great example. Everybody should take a peek at what you're up to, and you're a great example of how to do it. And kind of the last thing I want to do today is, in addition to the props, we want to recognize you at Leon, as for being an outstanding dealer. Noah is working on something special for your space,
Oh,
and
awesome.
it'll be kind of a one of a kind little piece. And we'll talk more about it when we see you next week. But thank you. Thanks for the
Hey,
partnership.
Thank you as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, it is a partnership and we love it for sure.
yeah. And I'm taking away from today, think different. That's the key, and that's what makes it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So we'll go out with a little spoon here. Thanks again, Anthony, and we will see you in Florida next week.
Cheers. Thanks very much.